Hello and welcome to those that are on the Oz by Drone channel, and also especially welcome to those on Ready Set Drone. G'day, Kelly.
Hey, good day. Good to see you. How's it going?
You know, that sounds so unnatural. Good day.
Good day. Howdy. That's more of a Texas thing.
Yeah, how you doing?
Doing very well, very well. We have, as I was telling Lloyd a minute ago, we have absolutely beautiful weather this whole past week. It's been sunshiny. It's been great flying weather. I've actually gone out and gotten some really, really cool shots of some flags that are backlit and some artwork, big murals and stuff like that. It's been fun. Been flying more recently.
Good to hear. And just a quick explanation to those on both of our channels. We are simulcast on Ready Set Drone and Oz by Drone today. The reason for that is because someone decided the time's changing, and we changed in America first. And soon you guys are changing. We had both of our shows at the same time. We thought, well, why not do it on both channels? Why not? It kind of made sense.
It totally makes sense. And it's a weird thing. I didn't realize this until Greg explained it. Because they're in the Southern Hemisphere, right now it is fall, or it's fall in the US and spring in Australia. So we actually get further apart on time, and then we get closer together on time versus moving the same direction. So yeah, it was kind of a nice thing tonight that we were able to hook up. And also, don't forget, in 2 weeks, well, next week will be First Friday, but in 2 weeks we'll have our global fly-in, and we're going to start that early. We're going to do it at 4:30 U.S. time, Central time, so that hopefully I can get out and fly, or more people at least can get out and fly before it gets dark because of the time change.
Yeah, absolutely. And here's a big hint for everyone. Android flyers in particular, we want lots of Android flyers because there's a weird little bug in iOS at the moment where you can't change the RTMP URL. So all your Android guys, get your phones out and get one up on the Apple lovers.
Yeah,
anyway,
yeah. We'll have all the Android crashes instead of the iPhone crashes.
Yeah, absolutely. Before we get into the main part of the show, we've got to talk about the new drone, don't we?
The new Phantom 5?
Well, I was just waiting for you to go and, not say that other word that we can't talk about. But we will talk about the Phantom 5. We've got some photos that have been leaked. Now, for those who've been in the drone scene for a while, you would have heard of Osita LV, who's someone on Twitter, and he regularly has photos and diagrams and schematics that look like they're hand scribbled, but they often are very, very close to what actually ends up coming out of DJI.
And he's leakier than a German U-boat.
He lives in China, and he's in a lot of the Chinese forums, but let's just have a look at the very first photo. So we've got the traditional Phantom X-frame kind of design there and some detail in there. Then we've got a camera assembly down below.
Yeah, looks familiar. And
we've got some retracting landing gear.
So what was it I guess the Inspire has retractable landing gear, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I could see the upside of that, but I also think the complexity of that and the possibility of breaking them goes way up.
Yeah, look, it does, but by the same token, the Phantom itself versus the Inspire, the Inspire is reliable, but it's more complex as well.
It is. But, again, the big thing with the Inspire is you are absolutely not going to get the landing gear in the shot when you have a dual operator, right? Because the whole thing is being able to have the second operator rotating the gimbal so independently of the yaw of the aircraft, so that you can get really good shots.
Well, there is the question, the $64,000 question. Will there be a two-operator version in a Phantom 5 where you can actually have someone doing a full 360 rotation on a Phantom? That would be way cool.
That would be really well. That kind of cannibalizes what they have on the, on the Inspire.
It does cannibalize the Inspire, but by the same token, it's a different marketplace where hobbyists who can't afford to get a real Inspire could say, well, I can have an Inspire Lite, let's call it for a minute, the Phantom 5, if it had that capability, but not the same high-end cameras that are available on the Inspire, the Phantom-style cameras. That would be I think, a good middle ground.
Yeah, and the ability to switch out cameras and do. I mean, there are a lot of advantages to the Inspire. I know also that Panasonic just came out with a Micro Four Thirds box camera that is supposed to be compatible with potentially with the Inspire at some point, is what I've heard.
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of the Inspire, before we get into the news, I've got one more quick little video clip, and this one's just for a laugh. It's not an Inspire, but it is a larger drone, and it's something that was sent in by one of our viewers in Discord, and I just thought, let's have a look for a laugh. Here we go.
Oh!
One more time, please.
Oh!
There was something bleeped at the end of that. I swear there was.
That just hurts. The other thing about that is too, they didn't mess around with crashing. They if you're gonna crash quickly, right? And they certainly did that.
I mean, has anyone actually got a Guinness Book of Records commentary on the fastest crashes in history? That would be a good one to look up.
That would be one of them. When I first started trying to fly FPV and taking it out of stabilized mode, that was generally what my flights looked like. It was just like up and then over, flip over, and then I got to go retrieve it. So I know what that's like.
Yeah. Okay. Well, before we do anything else, let's get into some news. And as always, on Oz by Drone, the news that we have today is brought to you by Air Data UAV. Is your drone healthy or about to surprise you on your next flight? Don't wait to find out. Discover under the hood information and review the early signs of problems before you take off again. Use the discount code OzByDrone20 for a 20% discount. There is a link in the description on my channel. Do go and have a look at it. You can actually get a free version as well. If you're a hobbyist, you can get a lot of information under the hood, particularly if you're flying DJI equipment and some of the other larger manufacturers.
Does it work on all DJIs? Like on across the board, or is it just for like DJI Go 4 drones?
Go 4 definitely. I'm not 100% sure on Go 3, but certainly everything Go 4. The newer stuff, I haven't had a look, to be honest, but I would be surprised if they hadn't already integrated that as well.
I'm going to give it a try, and I certainly want to try it with DJI Fly and see if it works with the Air 2. That would be cool if it does.
There's two ways that it works. You can either get the DJI cloud-based information connected into their platform to ingest the data that way. The other way is there's an app that will get the local data from your phone and then push that across. Yeah.
Very cool. That's awesome.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's get on. What we're going to do today is a couple of news stories, and then we'll go into some other stuff. But let's start with our first one. This one I've titled the Dart Drone. Now, when conducting environmental studies in hard-to-access locations, scientists will often set up wireless networks of small data logging sensors. Deploying those sensors can be difficult or even dangerous work. Although drones have been experimentally used for the placement of these sensors, the deployment methods have involved dropping them onto the ground or sticking them onto vertical surfaces using an attached appendage, such as a mechanical arm. With those limitations in mind, the team at the Imperial College London created a dart shooting quadcopter. So this is something that I think is way cool, and if you could have that in the pub and going and having it doing laser targeting at a dartboard in a pub, I would be up for that. That's a new sport. Forget about the environmental stuff. It's really, really cool. But this is a sport.
So it looks like the electronics are built into the Dart. The Dart seem to have processors in them.
I believe so, yeah. So it's a small data logger. So it goes and is providing temperature, humidity, information out of the tree. The actual Dart, I believe, is able to go and monitor the health of the trees there as well. And that's way cool. And it's a really cool use of drones. But again, I want to take one of these into a pub and shoot it at a dartboard. There's got to be a sport for that.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, or maybe you could take it to on safari and you could tranquilize big cats, or if you were a veterinarian, use it for that.
Yeah.
Wow. That is. I'm really amazed that the quad can maintain its position as well too, with that much thrust out of that spring. I mean, it looks like a lot of shock, a lot of power going out.
Yeah, obviously, but it's I think the trigger is going through the drone, so it's preempting the shot and preempting the forces associated with that.
And also, I just wanted to tell you real quick, Stingray Aerial Solutions just mentioned that Air Data does work with DJI Fly, so you can check it out. Yeah, I'm excited to try it. I mean, honestly, I have some quads that are several years old that I really worry about sometimes. So that would be nice peace of mind.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, let's move on for the moment, though. Our second story of the day. This is a partnership that I'm happy to hear about. Parrot Drones, the European drone specialist, has revealed that its latest Anafi USA UAVs are now compatible with Pix4D software. Pix4D is a professional photogrammetry and drone mapping company that offers a host of software solutions that use, of course, UAVs. In recent years, it has worked alongside Parrot to develop the software solutions. The programs are specialized for autonomous drone flight planning, offline map generation, automated inspection, and more, all of which will now be compatible with the Anafi USA.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. And you know, I haven't heard anything from Parrot in a while. Has Parrot come out with any new? I mean, they had the Parrot Disco.
So this is just a brief little video on that. What is new coming out from Parrot? Short answer, don't know. Pardon me.
And it's funny too, because the Anafi really was a bit of a precursor to the Mavic Mini. I mean, it was that kind of lightweight. It had the very same type of propellers, the split propellers that were really light. It was great. I like the Anafi.
So this is some stuff done with Pix4D, and I want to share with everyone who doesn't know. If you haven't used Pix4D, there is the ability to get, I think from memory, a 14-day evaluation copy of the software, and you can build a 3D map of your home, your property, or whatever it is that you're interested in doing. You go and put your drone up, whether it's a Phantom or now a Parrot, and go and take the photos, and it'll do that photo stitching and produce some absolutely stunning 3D models of those things for you.
And I think that's gotten much easier to do than it was even 2 or 3 years ago. You know, the software, I have played with it a little bit, but I haven't played with it recently. And from what I understand, making those types of maps and models is much easier because the software does so much more of the work.
It does, absolutely. Okay, look, that's interesting. The next one we've got on our list is what I call a stock drone. Now, you know, you think of stock car racing. We're not talking about racing here. Flying drone startup Ware says it will enable better inventory counting in warehouses by improving the artificial intelligence capabilities of its small aerial vehicle, thanks to a multi-million-dollar venture capital backing announced recently. According to Ware, the self-flying drones soar through the warehouse, collecting images of pallet locations, data from barcodes, and other inventory information. They then return to their nest inside the building, where they recharge, transmit the data to the cloud platform. And finally, the processing engine analyzes all of the imagery, distills the data, and provides interactive reports to inventory control teams. Amazon would absolutely love this. Let's play.
So at Ware, we deploy self-flying drones inside of warehouses to automate their inventory tracking, increasing their efficiency, their overall accuracy, and helping to solve their labor problem with cutting-edge robotics and AI. So the Ware product has 3 components to it. The first is the data collection phase. That's when the drone flies autonomously in the warehouse and captures all the imagery of the bin locations. The second phase is the data processing phase.
Once the drone finishes flying, it returns home to its nest. While there, it starts uploading data straight to our cloud, where we can start to process it.
We apply our algorithms and machine learning to it. And the third phase is the report delivery. This is when we distill all those insights that we've extracted.
I'm sure we
from
get the
imagery.
idea of what's happening there, but I just wanted to have some of the vision of the drones going and flying and doing that. Totally autonomous flight, capturing the barcodes, the information, and sending it back to the mothership. Really cool.
So that's a Skydio too in the shots.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
I wonder if it's drone agnostic or if it has to be a Skydio or if it could work with anything.
I think they probably selected the Skydio because of its camera capabilities. That's just my gut feeling. Obviously, you're GPS denied inside a warehouse, so that would kind of make sense.
Oh, you mean the onboard cameras for navigation?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that would make total sense because there's so many things you could run into, and Skydio generally doesn't run into stuff.
Yeah.
Coast to Coast Drone said, "Bye bye humans, you aren't needed anymore." I think that's been the case for a few years now. We're really at this point just a liability on this planet. The machines could run it just fine on their own.
Yeah, welcome to Skynet. We are absolutely there today.
We are there.
Okay. Now, we've done a few news stories, and I mentioned before that we're going to pause the news and go into something else. And apparently, the guest on the show today is me.
It's Greg. Well, now we're switching over to the speed dial mode, and I kind of thought it would be fun to interview Greg because so many of us know him from this show, but we don't really know much else about the man. I feel like he's a bit of an enigma and a bit of an anomaly. So he's doing all the switching tonight. I mean, this literally is coming all the way from my house to Sydney and then back out across the internet on 2 channels. He's a very, very technical guy. So the first thing I wanted to ask you, Greg, is what do you do when you're not doing live streams and when you're not flying drones? What's your full-time day gig or part-time?
So my background has been IT and computers forever and a day. In the beginning, I had a bulletin board service way back before the internet was invented. So
BBS.
I had a BBS and I had 40 phone lines in my parents' house, in the living room, in the family room, and racks of modems. So I've been involved in that kind of stuff forever and a day. And, that grew into my IT love. Most recently, I worked for Verizon. I was actually looking after Verizon Asia Pacific for their cloud data center and security business, everything post-sales. But I'm in the enviable position of being semi-retired, is what I'll call it at the moment, when the right gig comes up. But for the moment, I've also got my own business. I look after, think of it as my own app store. I've got an app store for people that want to have their servers in the cloud. So that's what I'm doing as well.
Very cool. And as far as your kind of appreciation for drones and getting into them, what was the thing that started you flying and wanted to get into doing, especially Oz by Drone, starting the YouTube channel?
Yeah, if I could switch the camera right now, I'd put the camera on to put my wife, who's the producer on the show, and put her face up. She's the reason I got into it. She's the reason she gave me my first drone.
She did.
And she did.
What was it?
Yeah, I can't even remember the name of it now, but it was a little $100 Kmart drone.
Nice.
No GPS, no nothing. And I did deliberately learn to fly it without stabilization because I wanted to make sure that I wasn't just using the tech. I wanted to fly it without any of that. And so I learned those skills, had a bit of fun with it. And the problem that I had with it was very simply range. It got to a point where it went to meet its maker and it kept on going and going and going. And
Were you over water or someplace where it couldn't be retrieved?
Correct.
Okay.
It went into bushland actually, and we looked and it was unable to be found. It was distant bushland.
Okay. So now it's probably in some kangaroos. What do they call a kangaroo house, by the way? What is it? A hutch? A pouch?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that pouch is there. But what do they call where all the kangaroos live?
I don't know. I've never thought of it, to be honest.
Like a wolf. Wolves have a den kind of thing.
I don't think they go and build a den. They're out in the wild. They're
just out, huh?
Under a tree.
Well, okay. Let me ask you this: how common?
Can I just continue just 1 second? Because the second part of the story is funny. Having lost the drone, I went and bought another drone, and it was one that had a return to home function.
Nice.
So I thought, well, I'm not going to have that problem again. But the return to home function, I found out, only works if you press the button before it goes out of range, and I lost that drone on its maiden flight.
So wow, okay, so that must not have been a DJI because they were.
No.
But so you had to push the button while it was still talking, in which case you don't even really need return to home.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, that's Philly. Okay, well, remind me not to buy that drone.
Yeah.
But I did want to ask, if you look out your window or you walk outside, how common are kangaroos just generally around? You're in a pretty suburban area, right? So would you see a kangaroo on a daily basis walking down the street or hopping down the street?
Well, there's a few people that are hopping mad that I run into, but no kangaroos, no. The closest you get to them, if you go on a decent drive, that's a couple of hours out of the centre of Sydney, you will see kangaroo roadkill. Literally, there will be kangaroos on the side of the road that have been hit by vehicles. That's the most that most people see kangaroos, unless they're out in the bush regularly.
So they are wild. They do live out, and there's a large population. For example, right behind me, this window, I could look out most days, and most days I'll see a deer walking by, and that's our neighborhood, kind of where we live. But deer are very common. Is it kind of like deer in the U.S., kangaroos?
Yeah, but your population is spread out a lot more, I think, than we are. So I'm a Sydney-based person. I'm 30 minutes from the centre of Sydney by car. It's like you're in the middle of New York and you're 30 minutes out of New York. You're not going to see a deer either.
Okay.
But if you go a bit further where the population is less dense, then you might see a kangaroo. Absolutely.
I want to come to Australia and I want to see a kangaroo.
But of course, we do see drop bears.
Drop bears.
You haven't heard of drop bears?
Am I going to ask you what's a drop bear and you're going to say something funny?
Well, Lloyd, you can tell them about drop bears, can't you?
Yeah.
Hi, Lloyd.
Hi, Kelly. Lurking in the background. Well, a drop bear is a type of koala. They tend to drop out of the trees and attack unsuspecting people walking by.
Really?
Yeah.
They cling onto your face. They cling on. You've seen the Alien movies. They're kind of like that. They suck onto your face. You've got to watch out for them.
So wait, are they as cute as koalas though?
Oh yeah.
I mean,
but you should hear the noise they make. Oh,
that's like being attacked by Baby Yoda. I mean, come on. Treetop Flyer says Kangaroo Roadkill is my favorite thrash band. Pretty good. So okay, getting back to drones for a second, Greg, what is your all-time favorite drone? Like, if you could only own one, if you had to get rid of every other one, which one would you want to keep? And it could be one you don't even own.
I'm going to be boring with you. I've got 2 drones that I own. I'm not a drone collector. I've got a Phantom 4 Pro. I wish I had the V2 rather than a V1. And I've also got a Tello. Those are my 2 drones.
Okay.
I enjoy the Phantom because I love its camera. And originally I used to do a decent amount of photogrammetry and commercial work with it, but the market for that kind of work has kind of dropped out. So it's more just I enjoy it for fun now. But I like my drone.
I love the fact that you say photogrammetry too.
Okay. What do you call it?
Photography.
No, it's a different term.
What is photogrammetry then?
Photo stitching, doing mapping.
The
stuff with Pix4D. So doing commercial work where you're photo stitching all of the stuff together to build 3D models and stuff.
Look at that. I learned something new. Treetop Flyer says Autel Evo 2 as his all-time favorite. I'd love to see in the chat what people think their all-time favorite drone would be. I think if I had to only keep one, now it really does go back and forth between whether it's an FPV or whether it's a camera drone. Camera drone is going to have to be the Mavic 2 Pro. And FPV, I think, really would be the Gep RC Rocket. It's just such a fun little park explorer. And that leads me to my next question for Greg.
Can I just answer before you ask the question? I would still pick the Phantom 4 Pro over the Mavic 2 simply because of the mechanical shutter. That's
Yeah,
for me
yeah.
an important factor.
And it does make a difference, especially with fast action. You know, those kangaroos hopping by quickly, or those, what do you call them, drop bears? You know,
Yeah.
you're not going to catch that drop bear mid drop if you don't have a mechanical shutter. So,
But also for doing the photogrammetry work, you cannot do photo stitching work as accurately using something without the mechanical shutter.
fair. And I think I go for the convenience of the Mavic 2, the small form factor.
Yeah.
So that leads me to the question. Aside from your first drone that flew away, have you ever had a really epic crash?
Yes.
Many?
Only one epic crash. I was in a park, and I came across this guy that was playing with RC cars on the ground, and I thought this would be fun.
That would be really cool.
This would be fun to do some photography chasing his car.
Yeah.
And then that was going well. I got some good footage out of that. And then we went into racing his car because he was making bets with me on the fact that he could go faster than me. And I said, okay, I'll try that. I could get the speed all right, but it's the braking that's a problem.
Yeah, and the turns. I got to think that when he
We were doing straights. That's fine. But the problem that I had was if I didn't want to have the thing at 400 feet, I wanted to have it at a altitude that you could actually see the comparison.
Yeah,
and
10.
I misjudged the braking distance required to stop it before crashing into trees at the end.
Oh yeah. I mean, DJI drones do generally. Was it your Phantom?
It was, and I had DJI Care refresh, and they covered it.
Okay, good. You didn't have to explain to them what happened or anything. It was just covered.
Yeah. The only thing that wasn't covered was the battery, which is something just out of interest. Did people know that DJI Care refresh does not cover your battery? There's an interesting fun fact.
Did you destroy the battery in the crash?
It was cracked and bulging, so yes.
Oh goodness. Yeah. Well, I could sort of understand that. I mean, the batteries are over $100 each typically, and so to include that, I guess they'd have to have a higher price point for it or something like that. I've had pretty good luck with DJI Care. I'm also going to mention something that I read today that Apple just actually, I don't know if you have Apple Care or have ever, with an iPhone, have ever broken it and turned it in with Apple Care. They have actually, just for, I don't know what reason, but they now allow you to tune or to bring in two cases per year if you have Apple Care. It used to be limited to one every 12 months. Now you can do twice every 12 months, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, that sounds cool. What else have you got for me? Have you got anything else?
Well, I guess I'll put you on the spot here because there's probably a few folks here in the chat that would be interested. If you are not producing a show and not doing anything with drones, and you just, because I find myself in this position every so often, and you just open up your phone, your tablet, your computer, and you turn on YouTube, whose channel do you watch, or what do you like to watch on YouTube?
I watch other droners, but I'll share one that people might find amusing. Have you guys heard of a town in the US called Leon Valley?
No, that's news to me. Lloyd, you heard of that one?
Nope, never heard of it.
Leon Valley is a small town in the US, and it's a channel called Justin Pulliam. My producer's writing something on paper, but I can't read it.
You're always watching rats.
Oh, and the other thing I watch is what's his name? Mousetrap Monday or something. I can't think of the name, but Sean Woods, he makes mousetraps, and it's just interesting to have a look at some of these old historical,
like actual mousetraps, like for real.
For real.
Oh, wow. Okay,
Yeah.
so he takes
I watched
that.
one this morning, and he had something in his house, and he had a electric mousetrap, and went and caught the mouse. You don't get to see the gross bit on it. It 30 seconds of 5,000 to 8,000 volts of electricity.
Oh, so when you say electric, you don't mean like an electric mechanism. You mean a
No, that one was designed to.
wow. I can only imagine what a mouse looks like after 30,000 volts of electricity. That's got to be.
The other thing that what are you talking about?
The old one and the one with the
Oh yeah, the other thing I watch is Mousetrap Monday. Mousetrap Monday.
bullet.
What's it called? The Marble Machine.
Yeah, marble machine.
Have what's
No,
the
no,
Winter Garden?
I'll have to check this one out too.
It's called Winter Garden, and he's a band, and he made a machine that's got these marbles in it, and it was a wooden-based machine, the original one, and he's making a new one that's more industrial in its build and design, and it's got little pins in it, kind of like a MIDI song track, and it's going to play a song.
So the marbles actually hit the pins and make a sound.
Well, the pins trigger the marbles to drop, and they drop on a xylophone.
Wow.
But he's also got drums in it. He's got an electric bass in it it actually plays the electric bass as well. It's just incredible. Winter Garden.
Did you ever see? Do you know who Herbie Hancock is?
I do.
He had a song called Rocket.
I know. I've played it.
And that was. Did you ever see the video for that song? It was all these weird, kind of crazy steampunk kind of things playing the music. But
Yeah.
well, so can I ask Lloyd the same question? Lloyd, I appreciate you said that you watch me. I appreciate that, Lloyd. But what's a channel we should all check out that Lloyd, the grumpy vlogger, recommends?
Oh, wow.
Maybe we haven't heard of.
A channel you haven't heard of. Well, there's Wendell's Music Live, I think is the name. I really enjoy his stuff. I watch so many things. I can't give you a name right now. You caught me off guard. I wasn't expecting to be on
Well,
it.
and for everybody who doesn't know, Lloyd is actually a really fantastic musician and guitar player. I've heard him play a couple of times and have always really enjoyed it. You have some things on your channel actually of you playing guitar.
Yeah, from way back when. I forgot they were even on there, but yeah. And I'm just learning to play my newest guitar, which is a 3-string cigar box.
Oh,
guitar.
wow.
Yeah.
It's electric?
Yeah. It's got an amp about, it's like a 25 count or a 48 count square box, made out a cigar box, and it's been electrified.
So the amp is built into the cigar box?
The amp is separate.
Okay.
They have a piezo pickup underneath the strings in the cigar box, and then you just plug it in. I could plug it into even my big amp back here if I wanted to, and I play it with a slide or chords, either one. It's because it is fretted. Some of them aren't, but
and so it's only 3 strings.
3 strings. Yeah, it's tuned to an open G, GDG.
Wow.
And
Wow. So anything that has a G in it, you just drum open and it will play
right,
the G.
right.
Wow.
Or you can chord up on the 12. You can slide up to the 12th, which is your yeah. My mind just went blank. Anyway, slide up to the 12th fret. It's
well.
pretty much
Wait,
like
do us a favor. Make a video or put that on your live show sometime. I'd love to see you play that.
I'm thinking about. I've been. That's what I've been doing. I've been so busy taking care of Judy lately. I make it a practice every night to go in there and sit down and play for 15 minutes, just to, something I've always done, but I got out of the habit of until I got this thing, and it's a blast to play.
Building muscle memory.
Exactly.
Since
And-
we're
and-
talking,
and you know
since
that-
we're talking about music, I do have to share very briefly. Our regular co-host on Oz by Drone, John, is his band played at the opening of the Sydney Olympics, and that's something that I think he's quite proud of.
Swing
Sorry,
band.
what? Yeah,
A swing band?
Swing City is the name of the band, and the interesting fact is you've got the musicians, and then you've got John, who's the drummer.
I was going to say he's just a drummer.
I heard this joke. What do you call a drummer who just broke up with his girlfriend? He's homeless.
Homeless. Yeah. Yeah.
You can tell that to John.
It's like, how do you tune a banjo with wire cutters?
Just let me finish briefly on the other channel that I started with, which Leon Valley. The channel name is called Justin Pulliam, and he's he calls himself an independent journalist. But there's been stuff going back and forth with alleged corruption in that city, and he actually goes and records their city council meetings. Some people might think, why would you sit and watch a city council meeting? But it's like it's a drama. It is better than a soap opera watching these guys. It's just insane. But anyway, that's one of the ones I do watch fairly regularly.
Well, are either of you guys going to watch, or anyone in the chat going to watch The Mandalorian season 2? I think starts today. I'm excited.
Absolutely.
About it.
I just saw the advertisement for today, and it's like, yes, season 2.
What is this? The Mandalorian?
Mandalorian.
It's a Star Wars.
It's a Star Wars show on Disney Plus. It's between, I think it's after Return of the Jedi is when it's slotted, and before
The Force Awakens.
The Force Awakens. Yeah, it's somewhere in that. It's like 10 years after Return of the Jedi.
Kind of the Empire's taken back over. So I got to just say this real quick, Lloyd. My absolute favorite is the 2 stormtroopers sitting on the speeder bikes. When they beat up Baby Yoda in the bag. But the dialogue between those 2 is just so funny.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just they're just 2 dudes sitting there talking, and you never think of stormtroopers as being just guys, but they really
That's
are.
it. Yeah, they're just a couple guys. You really don't even realize it until like you've watched the Force Awakens and you see that guy come out of his.
It's a person under there. Oh my
God. Most of the time, I thought they were robots for years.
Yeah. That's definitely on my agenda for after the show is to go watch.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing too.
Episode 1. And then I guess one last question for Greg. Greg, what is Halloween like in Australia? Is that like pretty much like it is here, or do you guys do stuff like crazier stuff?
I can say when I was young enough to theoretically be going out to that stuff, there was nothing. But I started seeing Halloween stuff when my daughter came of that age where she wanted to go out and do stuff, and they are starting to become American.
Is Halloween an American thing?
Yeah, it's not an Australian thing.
You'd have some other bizarre name for it, and it would involve Vegemite and kangaroo meat, right?
Probably. Yeah.
It sounds like Audi made a Halloween drone video. So I will go check that out after this. So those are kind of my questions. I feel like I know you a lot better now, Greg.
It's been fun. By the way, one other thing I'll share with you that you wouldn't know about me.
Okay.
In a past life, I was a musical director at a theatre company, and I was the guy conducting the band and doing all of that kind of stuff as a part-time hobby as well. And my favorite show that we've ever done was Little Shop of Horrors. That was so much fun.
Nice. Feed me, Seymour. Feed me.
Feed me blood.
So do you play an instrument, or are you the conductor?
I was playing keys and conducting at the same time, so keyboard.
Wow.
Yeah. I used to teach music years and years ago.
Wow. All right. Old instructor Greg, he would slap you with a ruler if you didn't get the chords right.
That was how I actually met John. I was at band camp, and we were having tea and scones on the lawn. And the next thing you know, the students didn't know this was going to happen, but the teaching staff had it all arranged. John Morrison and James Morrison, this is how I met John, actually came and landed in a helicopter on the lawn at the place where the campsite was happening. And everyone knew these guys. John and James were pretty famous musos, and yeah, that's how I met them. Later on, John started using my bulletin board service, and we became mates through that, and the rest is history.
Someone pointed out that a very popular costume in the U.S. is Crocodile Dundee. Oh, actually, I've dressed up as Steve Irwin a few times, so just for fun. Okay. Crikey, that's not a knife. That's a knife. That's mixing the two together.
Absolutely. And speaking of nature and Crocodile Dundee, our next news story. Did you like that
Yes.
transition?
Good.
Our next news story is
I like
from
this
National Parks and Wildlife. Following our devastating Black Summer bushfires in Australia, New South Wales National Parks and Wildlife has been using drones to assist with post-fire recovery. Some of the specific activities that the drones were used for included ecology assessments, which are live snapshots and maps of different terrain across the state, multispectral mapping to examine the types of vegetation that either survived or were destroyed, and archaeological analysis of historical sites, and even thermal scanning to assess the animal population in certain areas, particularly in the remaining vegetation patches. So they're going out and seeking koala population. Koalas have been largely devastated from our last Black Summer bushfires, and they're trying to help them along as best they can as part of the recovery using drones.
Well, and now that you told me about drop bears, I'm not as into koalas as I was before. They kind of scare me at this point.
Mate, I'm just waiting for you to come down under, and we'll make sure we got some drop bears for you to see.
Is that like a snipe hunt? Lloyd, you ever go on a snipe hunt?
I have been on a snipe hunt, and believe it or not, Oklahoma has a snipe season.
Really? Okay.
In our books, they have a snipe season. Yes.
I do believe it. That's Oklahoma.
Yeah, well, we have other things here too, but yeah, we have a snipe season. It's actually like a grouse or a river grouse.
Okay.
Yeah.
No,
It really is.
I remember a snipe hunt being when
Yeah, somebody takes you out, leaves you in the woods,
the scout leaders were tired of the kids.
Yeah.
They took us on a snipe hunt.
and they have you sitting around going snipe, 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 trying to call them in. Yeah.
So I got a compliment from both Geeks Vana and Sunrise Water Media on my accent. Now, Sunrise Water Media, I think his father is English. So if I talk a bit like this, I think it's a bit of a middle ground between Australian and English, perhaps a bit Cockney. What do you think?
Definitely Cockney. Cockney, actually. Yeah.
Cockney. Right. All right. Come back, Greg.
I was waiting for my wife to switch it so I could do the reaction, but anyway.
That's a injury. Don't.
Yeah, absolutely. Speaking of crashing and burning, did you like that one?
Yes.
A video showing Chinese-made drones suddenly dive towards the ground and crash in front of an audience during a air show. During the event, a Predator-style unmanned aerial helicopter developed by Hangzhou Star Low Altitude Helicopter Development Company. What a big, long name. And they were hailed as one of the trailblazers in the development of Chinese drone industry, suffered this catastrophic crash. Now, as we watch this...
Yeah, I think she just said our pilot has now safely strapped in.
Well, that's what I was going to say. We've got all of these things here, and I want people in the chat to try and do translations of what they would be.
She's telling them all to move closer to the track because everything is very safe. I think a lot of people have seen this video, but oh man, it's amazing. Yep, and
that
she's
translates to, and the drone is unable to be crashed. It's got image stabilization. It's got stabilization systems that make it totally crash proof.
And I think she also said that the blades, the propeller blades, are made from some sort of noodle. It's actually some sort of a lo mein noodle that won't hurt anything.
Absolutely. And this one, what she's saying right now, and the drone can be recycled since it's made of noodles and be eaten if required.
Actually, fed to drop bears. Drop bears love this. Oh yeah, I'd totally fly in that thing. Looks very safe and stable. And look at all those kids under it. They're very trusting.
They are very, very close to the area that it's flying, and certainly an air show in Australia, that wouldn't be happening.
Geeks Vana says they're calling it the Titanic drone.
Where's do you guys have the 30-meter rule? Now, just listen. Now, you guys on the rendezvous can't hear it, but that audio, it's continuing to run the engine at a very high speed. Now, unfortunately, after the video cut out, I have seen another clip. It continues to run and eventually catches on fire, and you see the fire truck coming over to go and put it out.
Wow. That's like one of those drones that you use only once a year on July 4th or I guess New Year's Eve. It's like a firework.
Yeah. Well,
Kai
the
says,
drones,
in the unlikely event of a crash.
I think there was a problem with translation. The drone is meant to go up, not blow up.
And then they're saying leaf blower. In the event of a crash, everybody just kiss your ass goodbye.
Yeah.
Boom.
But just a couple of things, looking at that, it was too close to the audience who were looking at that, number one. Number two, the fact that it didn't have a built-in safety or cutout after it landed on the ground. Anyway, it is what it is.
Yeah. It's kind of. I've seen a lot of air show footage. I've been to Wings Over Houston quite a few times. I don't know if anybody's been to Wings Over Houston at Ellington Field down in Houston and seen the Blue Angels and such. But man, they have such good safety protocols there as far as keeping people away from the where the planes are. And I've never actually seen the flight line. Thank you. I've never seen an incident. Lloyd, I'm sure you've been to some air shows. Have you seen anything? Anybody crash at one?
No, and I've been to quite a few of them out in Arizona. When I was, we had, basically aviation in Arizona days, which is like Wings Over Houston, and it's down at Davis-Monthan, and I never saw any. Plus, I've seen them at Lowry Field there in Denver.
Yeah,
and never seen one crash.
Oh, it's really funny. You mentioned Lowry Field in Denver. I think that it's closed now, right? That Air Force Base is closed. And I've been to it. There is now a beer garden called Lowry Garden, and it's right under a big static of I don't know if it's a B-52 or it's a big cargo plane. I guess a B-52 is a bomber, but maybe what's the C?
C5, C-17, probably a C5 if it's a really big one.
It's a C5, and it's a static just sitting there, and the beer garden is under its wing. If you ever go back to Denver, it's really cool.
Well, I'll have to go check that out. Yeah, that's where I went through my tech school at, and I for weapons training, and it was but that was 45 years ago plus.
a little while back. Well,
that was when it was still in black and white. Anyway.
yeah, back when it was in black and white. I remember when YouTube used to be in black and white. Remember when they announced they're going to go color on YouTube? That was pretty cool.
Anyway, just one quick story out of interest. We were talking about air shows and all of that kind of stuff. My next door neighbor, who's literally behind the wall that you can't see behind me, the green wall that's there, but she is the chairperson of HARS, Historical Aircraft Restoration Society. And they do their air show, Wings Over Illawarra, down at Albion Park. And I'm looking forward to something related to America. She's actually apparently got a Boeing 707 being donated to their museum there by none other than John Travolta. So his plane that he's been flying for many years is coming out to Australia. They're planning it at the moment. They've got the fuel stuff that they're sorting out, all of the regulatory stuff. They've got to replace all sorts of bits and pieces because it hasn't been flown in a while. But I'm looking forward to that one, and you'll hear it first on Oz by Drone right through that wall.
Well, that's pretty cool. Now, John Travolta has several planes, doesn't he?
I don't believe so. He flies other people's planes. He's got one of his own.
Okay. Well,
yeah.
Very generous of him to donate the plane, I suppose.
Absolutely. But speaking of things flying, we've got a bird.
Yes. I've been waiting for this one.
Engineers in the EPFL laboratory, and we did see this on Ken's show, but we had to have a look as well. The Laboratory of Intelligence Systems have designed a new drone inspired by a raptor. When the researchers say raptor, they're not talking about a dinosaur or the Ford pickup. Researchers carefully studied the shape of the bird's wing and tail and its flight behavior. And this was then used to develop a drone with similar characteristics.
So based on the inspiration that we had from a highly agile bird, which is called the northern goshawk, we developed this drone right here, which has a morphing wing and a morphing tail,
That is so cool.
which are made of artificial feathers. These morphing capabilities allow us to adapt the shape of the aircraft to different flight situations. And contrary to real birds, we still have a propeller at the front and we don't have flapping wings. For example, if we want to fly fast and we want to use as little power as possible, we can retract the wing and the tail, which reduces the wing area, and the drag is also reduced. With this, we can fly much further. On the other hand, if we want to have an aircraft that is very agile, for example, to avoid obstacles or to fly in cluttered environments, we can extend the wing and the tail, which greatly increases the agility of the aircraft.
Very cool.
Yeah, it looks very well made. The way those things just go in and out, they're almost like switchblades, you know, sweet, very good sweep and very smooth, and looks like very good engineering. But that's really a research program, right? That's not going to be a drone that they sell or anything like that, is it?
Well, there's no reason why they couldn't. And the company EPFL Laboratory, there's no reason why they couldn't. At the moment, it is, as you said, a research project. But you do research to build things and to market things. Otherwise, what's the point of the research?
Well, and anything that's made in a laboratory as opposed to a laboratory is got to be really good, because that's where all the evil stuff happens, in laboratories.
Yeah, absolutely. Quick little interjection. Wayne King, thank you for your $10 super chat. Very much
Hey,
appreciated.
Wayne.
Wayne is an absolute legend. We need a special banner for him to come up every time he does that. Very much appreciated.
Everybody, Wayne King tonight.
Absolutely. Now,
Everybody have fun.
where are we up to? If I have a quick look at my agenda, we've done the bird drone thing, and we've got one other thing that we need to do. And I restarted this computer, so I don't know if it's going to work.
The old reboot.
Well, no, it's okay. Let me just type one thing in here, and it's just got to quickly re-render it. It'll work.
All right.
There we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's time to play Stop the Yank.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. It's that time of the day that we love, and Kelly's going to hate because we're going to try and make a fool of him. It's time to play Stump
Already
the
got
Kelly.
that covered.
I wasn't going to say that, Kelly.
So,
All right.
for
Let's
those
hear
who
your
are...
Star Wars or 80s rock music trivia. I got those two things.
Nah.
No.
So for those who are regulars on Kelly's stream and not so much on my stream, we do trivia about Australian things and share that, and we'll just see what happens. So, Grump, you've got a question. What's your first question?
Kelly,
Yes.
this is an Aussie slang. This is what this is all about, is Aussie slangs.
Aussie slang. All right.
Yes. What is a cobber?
A cobber is a type of pipe which blows little bubbles out when you puff on it.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls,
Sorry about that. I was waiting. I
No.
was trying to get the attention of my producer. Can you switch the shot?
All right, come on, chat, help me out here.
There we go.
A cobber. I got one more guess. I'm gonna say it is a very, very hard piece of corn that comes out the other end.
It's neither one of those.
Okay. What is
It's
a
a very
cobber?
good friend.
A cobber is a very good friend.
Yeah. All right, me old cobber.
Me old cobber. All
Yeah.
right. I'm gonna start using that. I like that. All right. I'm 0 for 1.
All right. Now let's see if I can. Can you do this? This requires a little dexterity, but
Okay.
can you do the Aussie salute?
Is it like Benny Hill?
No.
No. I'll perform it for
Hang
you.
on,
just
no,
so
no,
you
no,
know.
no, 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 no. You got to have a real Aussie do it. Come on.
All right, let's let the Aussie show you how to do an Aussie. There
You're
we go.
trying to get rid of flies that are buzzing around your face 24/7.
That's the Aussie salute. I do it on my show a lot because I have flies in here sometimes. Yeah.
I thought it was more that someone just broke wind. So
Now here is a trivia question for, and maybe Greg doesn't know either, but do you know? Do all Australian military salute like this, or do they salute like this, or do some do one of each?
I'll let Kelly go first.
I thought it was. I really did think that anybody who was part of the royal
British Commonwealth.
Yeah, the British Commonwealth saluted like this. Am I right?
I had heard that there were two different types of salutes but I don't know what they are. But different branches of the armed forces.
All branches of the military salute like this, except for the Navy. The Navy salutes as the Americans do. The reason is because in the days before sailing ships and all that, what happened was you'd come up to your officer, you'd salute like this, show that your hand didn't have a weapon, so you weren't going to try and kill them. It also showed that you had enough respect to show you had clean hands. But because the Navy with sailing ships used ropes and grease and all that, their hands got dirty, so they started saluting like this. So rather than disrespect with dirty hands.
That's pretty good. That's a good story. I've heard that's kind of the same thing with waving at people. The reason you wave to people is to show that you don't have a weapon.
Right.
There you go. Can I share a question that we actually had last week, which was a really cool question? And Kelly, do we have more people in Australia or more kangaroos in Australia?
I'm going to say kangaroos.
You are correct. We actually had the number last week of the population of each, but it was pretty big. More kangaroos in Australia.
40 million kangaroos, and I don't know what the population is of Australia.
Brad just told me I'm out of focus, so
well, you are now.
Yeah.
You are now. You've zoomed just a little bit onto your chinny chin there.
But somebody needs to
That's
shave.
the zoom, not the focus.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to get the focus in. Let's see. There we go. Thank you, Brad. Is that better or worse? I'm stuck in.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Somebody needs to shave. More kangaroos, probably by a lot, right? I mean,
yeah, by I think several million.
So I have a little trivia. I have a little American trivia for Greg. Lloyd, you probably know the answer here, but the Jeep. Are you familiar with the Jeep, the vehicle?
Yes.
Greg?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know where the name came from?
No, but I know the subsequent names where they came from.
Well, I'm talking about the actual brand name of Jeep.
Hang
Do you
on,
know where
let me phone a friend. I'm going to ask my producer.
What?
Do you know
What about?
the Jeep, where the name came from?
I know the Jeep, it's like the military car thing.
Yeah, I know, that's what it is. But where the name came from, no, we don't know.
All right, Lloyd.
Actually, two possibilities. The more famous one is from the little character called Jeep in the Popeye. I can't remember his name, but he used to go Jeep. It was in Popeye cartoons. Also stands for GP, for general purpose, which is the vehicle that it was.
That's the one I've heard. Is it was called it was a general purpose vehicle, which got abbreviated to the GP, which eventually became Jeep.
Okay,
But
and what is the subsequent name? What is the subsequent name that it gets used when it's used as a public utility vehicle? Also known as a PUJ.
A Pooj?
Yeah, but what is the full name? Hang on, Kelly first.
I have no idea.
Lloyd?
I'm not even sure what you're talking about. So
Yeah.
In the Philippines, it's known as a jeepney.
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 Oh.
So they actually use them as buses. They do stretch jeeps. They stretch them, and the people sit in the back of them and use that as public transport.
So you can roll over anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, some of the roads they probably need them.
Kelly has a question for Greg. How many stars on the American flag?
50 something. 51 or 52?
Just 50.
50? Okay.
I guess there are stars on the Australian flag too, right? I'm counting behind Lloyd. How many back there? Is it 6?
7.
Well, let's ask the question on the Australian flag. What is the pattern that is used for the stars that are on the flag? Let's put Lloyd full screen so we can see the flag there. Can you do the flag? Can you make yourself disappear, Lloyd?
Yeah, let me see if I can do that. How do I do that?
Is it the capital of each province, or what do you call them? States? I don't know.
No,
what you call
I'm
them.
talking about the pattern specifically.
Right. So the pattern would be where the capitals for each of the states would be. If it's a map.
No.
Okay.
No, I can't. If
He
this
can't
was
make
on,
himself disappear.
Yeah, I can't. I could if this was on vMix, but I'm using Wirecast today, so
It's the
bird poop.
It's the Southern Cross. So it's
Southern
a
Cross,
constellation. It's
Okay.
a constellation that's in our sky, and it's it's down under. It's our
Doesn't
little
it
thing.
also represent the states and territories of Australia?
Correct. So it's connected to that as well. But that's just the pattern that I was sharing with you.
Southern Cross.
There was a musician. There was a song called Southern Cross. Do you know who did that one? I'll have to find it.
Now you're gonna make me look it up. Yeah.
It was somebody like I want to say Christopher. It was kind of along the same lines of "Sailing takes me away to where." You know that song? I promised I wouldn't sing.
Well,
I didn't start listening to 70s and 80s rock music until I was in my late 50s, early 60s, because I grew up on country. That's all I ever listened to. And I didn't like any of the music of my times of the 70s,
Both kinds of music, country and western.
Yeah, both kinds, country and western, yeah.
Blues Brothers.
Yeah. Oh,
Okay.
I like the Blues Brothers, yeah.
All right.
It's
Well, I'm
been-
0 for 10, so you stumped me.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been fun stumping Kelly, and we've got 2 more news stories and a quick little flashback after that. The next story is about a 360-degree drone. So Door Vista Robotics has a Kickstarter campaign to build a drone with 360-degree footage capture capability. The camera seamlessly and automatically captures 360-degree footage, stitches your video to remove the drone, so it's got top and bottom cameras, etc., and converts it into standard video. Plus, with autonomous navigation, it can navigate outdoors and indoors on its own, and it's really going to be good for virtual tours and new area exploration. Let's have a look.
Professionals and enthusiasts are hungry for a technology-packed aerial drone which is beyond limitations.
Introducing the Vista, a drone that captures the best angle every time with its 360-degree 40-megapixel camera. The Vista is powered by Sony with its dual IMX204 sensors, 4 LiDAR sensors, an optical flow sensor, and stereoscopic cameras, making it the most advanced camera drone on the market for professionals and enthusiasts alike. Vista is the first indoor-outdoor 360-degree camera drone. The Vista is capable of 3D mapping full interactive environments and tracking the movement of objects in space. For professionals, the Vista is an ultimate solution. Set its path and sit back while the drone creates virtual tours, completes inspections, identifies and tracks objects, records measurements, and so much more. With the Vista, no tripods are needed for virtual tours because this camera drone flies inside and can do so autonomously using the full suite of sensors and proprietary software. All your footage and data is uploaded directly from the Vista to the Door Robotics video editing suite, where 360 video content can be edited and converted into 3D models with exact measurements, virtual tours, and 2D images.
So I'm just going to fade it down. We'll watch the rest in the background, but just let's chat about it. The whole idea of a 360 camera drone sounds really good. What do you think?
I mean, it's a great idea. The actual footage looks very bumpy. Like, it doesn't look very smooth at all.
Yeah.
What do you think, Lloyd?
Well, that's what I was thinking. It's pretty unstable. It sort of looks like when I try to fly Oh, that little drone I won off your channel is kind of in the air and everywhere, bouncing around.
Yeah. I mean, which I guess with image stabilization, EIS, you could fix that, but it just didn't look. If you put a Mavic up like that, it's going to stay at the same height.
Yeah,
not
exactly
around like that.
I think the problem is that they're to do image stabilization, because they're also doing 360-degree photo stitching live in real time. It's going to be difficult to do both at the same time.
Sure. Actually, hey guys, there's somebody at my door. I'll be right back. Hold on. I don't think my wife's here right now. Right back.
So while we're waiting, Lloyd, tell us a joke.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. You do this to me when I'm least prepared. Give me a chance. Okay. Here we go. Just a statement here. I don't know if you've heard about it, but they're a new type of pillow. They're a corduroy pillow, and they're really making headlines. Okay, you missed that. All right.
I didn't get it.
Corduroy, a pillow, headlines. It's, if I got to explain it, it's not good.
No, it's not.
What pay? No, I'm not going to do that one. That one was too.
I think I got it.
Why is this guy so unhappy? Yeah, that was a bad joke. I know. Yeah. Why is this guy so unhappy?
Why?
It has the blues.
Okay. Look, while we're waiting for Kelly to come back,
pay for on this show.
Yeah, I know, and I'll give you a 100% raise.
Thanks.
Okay, now my computer's just frozen. If I wait 10 seconds and then press that button, there we go. We're going to have a look at the beginnings of our last story for today. Drone Matrix is a European company that sells semi-autonomous drones and accompanying docking stations. That's nothing new. YACOB, this drone was recently selected for a pilot project by the Antwerp Police and their fire department as a way to enhance security and surveillance measures while reducing helicopter noise. The drone tech is interesting, but the capabilities of the ground station shown in the video, that's pretty impressive. Just have a look at this. Okay, so taking off from its ground station there. Now, the original video is much, much, much longer. I've trimmed it down to just a short video, but what's interesting is as it goes by, it's tagging objects in real time, whether they be people or whether they be vehicles, anything that's moving in that space, it's tagging them in real time. Now, I don't know about you, but I've seen some of I can't remember the name of that show where they had surveillance cameras all around, and it was an American-based show, and it was tagging and having ID numbers against everything and anything possible.
Well, this almost looks like when the Terminator's walking around in the first Terminator and everything's popping up, his heads-up display is showing him everything. You know what I mean? It's like in real time he's getting all this data. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah. So as I said again, this is in a European company and it's in Antwerp. I'm a little bit confused because I thought the Europeans were particularly, strong on privacy. I don't know that the Antwerp population would be happy with that. What are your thoughts?
Well, I mean, when you say the Europeans, you say the Americans, you say the Australians, not everybody agrees on things, right? So some of them may be into privacy, some of them may not. It's really, there's going to be a company that's going to develop something like this if there's money to be made, so that's just kind of the fact. It's all in how it's used.
Yeah, perhaps. I don't know. I'm just seeing...
Art said the name of the show. I'm trying to find where he said it. Person of Interest.
Person of Interest. That's the name of the show. I remember that now. Yeah, it was an interesting show. Person of Interest.
And also, I wanted to tell you guys, it was. I got the note here. Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young. That's who does Southern Cross, the song.
Okay. Oh, we've got a great audience out there. They can answer any question.
Yes. Except what a cobber is. I didn't get any help on that one.
Ken Heron just gave you a super chat, Greg.
Oh, thank you, Kenny. Thank you. What's up, knuckleheads? Thanks. Speak for yourself.
What a cobber. And if you weren't here earlier, you don't know what that means. So go look it up.
Yeah,
you know, exactly. I've got a video that Ken sent me one time of him going and filling in the paperwork for the passport so that he could come down under. But you can't get in now anyway, Ken. They won't take your kind. Okay, moving on. We've reached the end of the show, and we've got a SpinUp flashback. This was a promotional video that.
Wait, before you play it, though.
I'm not going to play it yet. I'm definitely going to not play it yet. This was a SpinUp flashback that we're going to have a look at in a few moments. And it was a promotional video that was shot for SpinUp that wasn't used a great deal. And we're going to have a look at that and have a little bit of fun. We'll chat in the background afterwards. And at the very end, we're also going to go into Discord. So if anyone wants to have a chat, Lloyd, can you do me a favor? Can you post my Discord link in Kelly's chat? And we'll see if we can have a few people having a chat with yourself, Lloydie, Kelly, myself. We'll have a chinwag there in the voice chat room.
A chinwag with our cobbers.
Absolutely.
Cobber chinwag.
But we're not leaving yet. So, Kelly, you had a couple of other things you wanted to say.
Yes. First of all, I think Art is still out there. But Art, I got your almond toffees, and I was telling Lloyd how excited I was, and he told me that he grew up eating these and that he often sits down and eats an entire 2-pound box of these in one sitting. I think he said that. And you know,
I could if I wanted to.
So I have right here the official opener of all boxes in this house, and we're gonna check it out because I had supper a little while ago, and this is going to be dessert. So Art, thank you. I really appreciate it. As a matter of fact, Art, I'm curious how your Bugs drone is doing. I owe a Bugs drone, I think, to Ray Kelly, and I swear I had some problems with it, but I got it all fixed. And so as soon as I do my review, I'm going to send it to you, Ray. So let's see. This has a nice little. This is like an unboxing video. Had a nice package there. Now these are Enstrom almond toffees, and these are something that Art gives away on his show pretty regularly, right, Lloyd?
Yes, he does.
So they have a little bit of this powdered stuff on here. I'm hoping this isn't ricin or anything like that.
No.
Let's see.
Ground almonds.
Ground almond. Okay, and maybe Art thought that I was allergic to almonds, but I'm not. I'm not peanut intolerant. It's not going to kill me. Came with a nice little piece of, very classy here. It has this nice little piece of paper on the top that tells the story of these. It says, "Dear truffle lover." Boy, nobody's called me truffle lover before. And here we go. Oh, that is good. That is toffalicious. Art, you the man. Thank you very much.
Toffalicious. Haven't heard that one before.
New term, definitely.
No, I really appreciate it, Art. If anybody wants to send me stuff, let me know, especially if it's candy.
And you can absolutely send stuff down under as well. I'd love to eat some toffee or some candy. You know, Ken had the candy donation program. Let me just take care of that, because if you do want to send any chocolate, candy, or other things, there's the address where you can send it. 5/127 Princess Highway, Sylvania, New South Wales 22224, Australia.
Sylvania. I did not know you were in Sylvania. I knew you were in New South Wales, but
yeah.
Okay.
At least it's not Transylvania, but that's Halloween anyway.
Or Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania.
Blaylock says that was anthrax in the thing. Thanks, Joe.
Yeah. Any last comments from you, Lloydie?
No, this has been a fun show. It's always fun when I get to interact with Kelly. Kelly, you're just, you're one of the big guys. I mean, you really are in this community, but you're just down to earth and easygoing, laid back.
That's all.
Do what?
Probably just eating a little too much toffee. That's all.
Yeah, is that it? But no, this was a great show for both channels, and it was interesting seeing the interview side from Greg. I knew all that stuff, but it was kind of interesting.
Yeah. Well, Lloyd, right back at you, man. I'm always pleasantly not surprised, but always happy to see it when you're the producer / remote producer on this thing. And so
right.
thanks for being here and doing that. And we should get together more often.
We should.
And
Yeah.
speaking of that, coming very, very soon, in 2 weeks from now, everyone who's got a drone, whether it be a camera drone or an FPV drone, we'll take your drone feeds however you can get them to us, particularly RTMP feeds or virtual camera feeds. 2 weeks from now, it's going to be an hour and a half earlier in Australia, but the time zone, I can't remember what it is for you over there. You said what time?
2.5 hours earlier here.
Yeah, so that you said
because normally I end when you're starting, so it's going to be 4:30 Central in the U.S. So that would be 3:30 Mountain, 2:30 California, and 5:30 Eastern.
5:30 Eastern time. Yeah.
I guess I'm hoping that 5:30 is not too late for people on the East Coast to fly, but we'll see.
Yeah, that will be really cool. So come and fly. It'll be live on both channels, Ready Set Drone and Oz by Drone, and we'll have some fun then. And I'll be back next week at my regular time with my normal stuff, and Kelly will do his thing. And any last words from you?
I'll keep it to an hour. So everybody can join you afterward. I love it when we do that. No, thank you so much for making all this happen tonight, Greg. I know you put a lot of work into the news, and actually those were some of the most interesting drone news stories I've heard in a while. So I really enjoyed that. Thank you.
Okay, it was fun doing it. And as always, thank you for watching. Thanks for being part of Oz by Drone and Ready Set Drone. And for my regular viewers, I'll see you next week. Bye-bye for now. Oh, hang on. What am I doing? I forgot. We've got the flashback. I'm used to signing off at that point. Here we go.
Hey, what's up, guys? This is B from Droner Tech, and I'm really excited to be sitting so far away, even so close, I can almost feel you, from this guy right here, Ken Heron. And the reason we're sitting so far away from each other is because we're in Austin, Texas right now for the drone SpinUp with Ready Set Drone, and I'm super excited. It's happening tomorrow, and you guys need to be a part of it. But this is Ken Heron. Hi, Ken.
Hey, B, how are you, man?
I'm good, man. So you're going to be here with me, obviously, tomorrow.
Yes.
What are you most excited about?
I'm most excited about smelling each and every one of the people in the drone community, because something that you people don't realize is that B smells fantastic. He's a good smelling man.
Oh my gosh.
And I know you lied and said that I smell good too, but I know I got that old man smell happening. I know I do.
Oh my gosh. So
ladies,
this is just a piece of what you're going to be getting, because you and I are actually going to have a segment where it's just me and you.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, man.
We got the teleprompters going so we don't go off script.
Oh, bruh, it's like there's no teleprompter. I don't know why you acting like it's gonna be bad.
All right,
but it's gonna be good. So y'all, look, it's gonna be on Ready Set Drone's page tomorrow. So pull up.
I'm a little worried though, because this is an earthquake-prone area. I don't know if you knew that.
Oh my gosh, is he really?
Oh no! Hang on, Brendan! Brendan, hang on!
This is why he has no friends.
It's the big one.
This is why he has no friends. Yo, the man. The legend himself. This is you. This is Kelly from Ready Set Drone.
Hey, how's it going?
Bro, this is your event. This is your third year of doing this. And honestly, there's been a lot of challenges, I know. You're like, yep, to me. There's been a lot of challenges, I know. Obviously with COVID and all that. But you still managed to get us all here. You still managed to organize this and get all these people to come already. And I just want to know, what are you most excited about?
I am most excited about trying this as a virtual event because I know in the past a lot of people at the live events who couldn't attend wanted to watch. They were like, I want to see what you guys are talking about. I want to see how you're interacting. I want to see all that stuff. And quite honestly, streaming was never really something I wanted to do at the events because I didn't want to cannibalize the live attendees. This year it's all streamed and I'm super excited about that. We have a killer setup here. We got this back here, but we also have a whole bunch of tech on that side. We've got a professional crew coming in to run this thing so that we don't have to worry about it. We got monitors, we got multiple cameras. It's going to be really, really awesome, and I'm super excited to push myself to do that, number one, and number two, to bring it to a global audience.
I'm just excited that you got me to come here. This is the first time I've traveled since March, and I feel really good about it. And also, I have one other question that I'm looking forward to see what your answer is.
Okay.
I hear that, in the preparation meeting that we had for this, that there was a bet that was made. You want to have anything to say about what that might be?
Sure. I'll say it. I'll tell everyone that I told these guys that we should have a good time and have a chill attitude, and that if any of them could make me cuss And I should say without hitting me or physically
You should have said
damaging
that,
me.
but you
Yeah,
didn't say
I didn't say that. But let's assume that was assumed. If any of them can make me cuss tomorrow, I would give them $10.
$10.
So just for doing something that would make me so mad, because I will cuss occasionally, but I like when I cuss.
How much did you pay out?
I want to cuss, not because I've been. I actually didn't pay a dime because I never cussed.
Good to hear.
Yeah, I'm gonna get nut punched. I have a feeling it's gonna be just kind of.
We could have done this for free. But either way, stay tuned tomorrow. Get the link below. Watch it because honestly, this man, I'm here for it. Yo, and this is the incomparable Sean Oz.
Hello.
How you doing, brother?
I'm doing all right.
Yo, tomorrow's gonna be lit, bruh.
It's gonna be a blast.
We are literally out here right now.
We are. We flew. Did you fly?
I literally flew here.
I flew, and the airport was amazing.
We risked our lives to be here.
But there was nobody there.
There was nobody there.
It was the fastest I've ever gotten through a check-in in an airport ever. No one sitting next to me.
And the thing is, we're gonna make it worth it because I actually am really curious. What are you most excited about for tomorrow? Because I'm excited about a lot of things. But what is the thing that you're like, I know this is gonna be, yes, I say it, lit?
I'm excited for Spin Down.
What?
Not that I'm not excited for tomorrow.
Okay.
But Spin Down's been sort of my little side thing I'm helping Kelly with. So
okay.
I'm very excited about that, which we'll talk about tomorrow. I don't want to.
All right, okay, we can leave. That's a good teaser. You're gonna want to see that.
Yeah. So for tomorrow, I'm interested in the FPV stuff because I don't do FPV right now, but I've wanted to forever. But I hate fat sharks.
Well, the DJI ones that's the way to go now.
I do.
That's going to be part of what we get to talk about tomorrow is because I'm just now getting into FPV.
Are you?
I am.
Are you doing the DJI?
I am. Yeah, I'm doing the DJI straight up. And I'm using the, what's it called? The simulator, so.
Okay. You've been messing with the DJI and the simulator?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you're getting used to the feel already.
Oh, I'm all the way in. Like, this is the way to go.
It's just time consuming. The FPV stuff is time consuming because you break it, you got to repair it, you break it, you got to repair it.
Oh, yeah. But that's what the simulator's for. You ain't got to break nothing. Right. And for me, I just have friends that are good at FPV, and I'm just like, all right, cool. Like, y'all just help me.
Yeah.
And that's it.
So what are you looking forward to?
The thing I'm most excited about is the hilarity of all of us being in one space.
Right.
Because even when we did the pre-meeting just now, I was just like, this is going to be a disaster and the most beautiful. It's going to be a slow motion train wreck in the best way possible. I'm really excited.
My favorite part was when Kelly said, over here already, or whatever he said. He lifted his hand. It was like a school teacher getting our attention.
He was like, I won't get
upset
here. Tomorrow. I won't get upset tomorrow. We all like, you're going to get upset tomorrow, bro. You're going to
make you drop an F-bomb.
Oh, yeah. That's the goal.
Yeah.
So we'll be here for it. So let's get into it tomorrow, bro.
Sounds good.
Yo, not even close to the least, but definitely last, we have the original, as in the first, Dobo. Or we just call him Dobo.
Just call me Dobo.
Oh, just Dobo?
It's just Dobo. I'm sort of phasing the original because I found out there's more Dobos.
I
don't know which one came first, so we're sort of it's a legal battle right now.
I'm just gonna give you some real talk right now, okay?
All right.
The swag that you brought to this moment is fantastic. You showed up, you were like, you know what? Beer in hand.
Beer in hand.
Having a good time.
We're doing it.
And that's what's gonna happen.
That was the first thing I said to you. I said, yo, where's the beer? You're walking around
you literally did.
I was like, you did not even a hello. And I'm like, yo, where's the beer?
Where's the beer? I was like, it's right there.
There
He's
it is.
We can talk in a minute.
We got it. It's like coffee.
Oh, bro.
I'm not an alcoholic, just to be clear. It's not an alcoholic.
Vacation.
You think whatever you want.
Vacation. We're on vacation.
We're on vacation. We're Austin, Texas.
Exactly that. So this is gonna be live.
I feel like
I'm not gonna edit any
Steve
of this.
Carell. It's a mess. Sorry, Brendan.
No, it's okay. So first thing, I have two questions for you.
Okay.
Number one, what's your thing you're most excited about tomorrow?
Oh man, probably I'm excited to talk to Nurk, but I'm also really, really excited to give shit away because that's fun. Because you can be like, you get a drone and you get an action, and
You want to be Oprah.
I want to be Oprah a little bit.
I'm not mad.
I mean, who doesn't want to be Oprah?
That's real. I want to network and I want $1 billion. That would be really
it's gonna be cool to give stuff away that's not ours, and the fact that it's sort of like we can still do. You can still do all this, but not have to worry about all the It's cool, man. We're gonna have a long day tomorrow. We're gonna have a long day.
Y'all gotta
You're up, baby.
Also, second question is we just saw Kelly, the man of the Ready Set Drone.
The man, the myth, the
and
legend.
he put a gauntlet on the table. He said, "I will give anyone $10 who can make me cuss." That was a real moment, was it not?
He said if I'm not gonna curse tomorrow. I was already warned. They said to me, you're not allowed to curse. So I have a tab open, it's like a jar, but they have my credit card. So every time I curse, they're charging me I think it's $3 or $4 in a service charge.
Yeah.
So I was like, we're gonna try to make him curse. Like we're gonna do. I don't care if I have to hit him with.
My money's over here, by the way.
We're gonna do whatever we can.
My money is right here because Kelly was trying to even just explain.
I think it's like a gift card to Olive Garden, possibly even a Starbucks gift card. I'm not even really sure, but there's something on the line to make him curse. So
y'all, seriously,
it's gonna be a disaster.
Just for this alone, to see what this man right here does, the Dobo does to get Kelly to cuss is worth the free price of admission. It's free $99 to watch this link. It's worth it. 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. all day.
Is it $3.99 to watch?
Free $99.
Oh, it's free $99. I thought it was $3.99. I was gonna say we'll put our PayPal link in the description below. Click on that and support us.
Free $99. So that means
joking.
it costs literally nothing. So y'all pull up. The link is below. And you see what happens, because this is going to be the best slow motion train wreck that's ever occurred.
Oh, it's going to be a disaster. Anytime we live stream, it's like, things can always go sideways, but then you got like some of the goofiest people in the industry here, all under one roof. Socially distant, of course.
Yeah, see, we can't even.
I can't wait until he watches this shit back. He's going to be like, what hotel is Dobo staying at? Quick.
Oh, God.
He's going to shave my eyebrows. It's cool. It's cool.
So yeah, guys, tune in, and thank you guys again for watching anything where this is. And as I always,
I don't even know what this is.
We don't know what this is. But
he paid me to say everything.
Stay fly, stay fly.
So that was the intro to SpinUp. Can I just ask, can someone post the links to the replays for the SpinUp stuff in the chat? Is that something we can do?
Yeah, I've got it.
Because I'm sure there's people who haven't seen it that would love to see it. That'd be really cool.
It was a lot of fun. Yes, I will do that.
Yeah. Now, I was going to say something, and I can't remember what it was. Damn. Anyway, look, it was good watching that, seeing the vibe that was happening. Are you looking forward to next year? Have you started planning already?
Well, I'm pretty sure next year is going to be a combination of live and streamed again. Because, I mean, ultimately, how easy is it going to be for someone to come from overseas? We don't know. And so I like that global aspect of it. The more we can get people interacting, and that's part of the reason I need to step up my game on Discord, quite honestly, is because I think Discord is a great platform to interact on, which is what we're going to do right after this, right?
Absolutely. We're going to be in Discord. We're going to have a chat room and see what happens. Anything can happen.
Anything can happen.
It worked real well for me because I can't travel with my wife's health. We just can't do that traveling anymore. And this was fantastic to be able to watch it this year. And I caught it last year too, but this year was even better because the production quality was so much higher.
Yeah. Last year, quite honestly, was kind of an afterthought. This year, we really made an effort to put it in. So
yeah,
and I remembered. Can I just jump in? I remembered when I saw Dobo there. I said to myself, the original Dobo, and he said he was the first. And I had a joke that came out of that. Which came first, the chicken or the Dobo?
Is that the joke or is there a punchline?
No, that was
the joke.
Kind of news he gets.
There was chicken adobo. It's a Filipino kind of. Anyway.
See.
Okay.
Well,
poor Yanks don't catch on to some of that.
I've learned so much tonight from you. I really have.
It's been fun.
I just put the link to the replay of SpinUp into both chats.
Okay. Thank you for that, Kelly. Anyway,
yes.
Look, we have reached the end. My producer is ready to go and fall asleep. So thank you for watching. Thanks for being part of the show. We'll see you on Drone, same time next week, Australian time. But please remember, you're changing your clocks in America. I'm going to broadcast at the same time. It will be different for you next week. So make sure you check that out.
It'll be an hour later. It'll be right after First Friday. So tune into First Friday, and then you can just roll right over.
Done. Okay, thanks for watching. Thanks for being part of it. See you next time, guys. Bye-bye for now.